I love Hopkinton. I was just driving by Weston Nurseries where I've spent any number of hours and countless dollars over the years. We got a beautiful day to be out today, and we sure appreciate the warm welcome.
Hi, Hopkinton. I'm glad to be back here. Last time I was here, actually it was in the winter. I was riding my bike right through the center of Hopkinton. And then, of course, I was back here to start the wheelchair section of the marathon, and I'm really thrilled to be back here now. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day, and thank you for hosting us. We're happy to be here.
Will we see you at the marathon this year?
I've stopped running, personally. I'm bike riding now because I started to pound my joints into arthritic stupor. So I'm off the running and I'm on to the biking. Thank you enough for that. Every single one of us, the governor, myself, Teddy, all of us. Now, I heard John say we need change in Washington, folks. We need change in everything except all of the people who are asking for the change. Some of us are on the cutting edge, as we have been, I'm proud to say, all of our lives. And whether it's been children's health care in 1996, where I wrote the first bill that actually became the children's health care plan that we have in place in America today, and we've tried to get it for everybody. The Republicans keep blocking it. Or energy independence. 2001, when nobody was talking about it, I laid out a plan for America's energy independence. I was the first person to run for President of the United States and have an advertisement in the primaries based on energy independence because I thought it was such an important issue. Today, everybody in both parties talks about it. Only one party does anything about it. The fact is that this is every bit as important an election as John just described it. I'm not going to go, you all understand, you're activists out here. I mean, it's hard to believe you're activists in this bucolic splendor. But I accept the notion. And while we're here, let's thank the laborers for letting it all be. I think Deval Patrick has done an absolutely spectacular.
Come closer. I don't project as well as John Kerry. Nobody projects as well as John Walsh. First of all, I want to thank John Kerry for the warm introduction and for his service to this country in the United States Senate, the United States military, and for distilling as well as anybody what is at stake legislatively in this election. Think about what it would mean to have a Congress that is not just blocking good ideas, but actually advancing good ideas. Just think about that. That is what is at stake in this election. John needs our help. I ask you to help. Let's send him back.
Yeah.
Thank Paul McNally. Where are you, Paul? Paul? There he is. For having us out to your sylvan paradise here. To you and all the laborers, thank you. Paul and our friends in organized labor have been true friends of our cause. Not just my administration, but our cause. We don't agree on everything. We fuss and fight and sometimes call each other names, usually privately. Not always privately. But we are trying to push in the same direction, which is trying to make a way for working people to build a future for themselves and their families. And Paul, I thank you for your leadership and your graciousness today. Thank you so much. I hope you appreciate the spirit of this gathering, which is to say thank you. To thank you for all you do to support me, all you have done to make this improbable campaign a reality, all you have done to continue to support me in office. I thank you for caring as much as you do about our Commonwealth and our country. We have some huge challenges in front of us. And some of you who are new to grassroots activism, and there are a few of you here, all of you are pals and parts of our family now because of what we've gone through and what we continue to go through. But some of you who were new to this cause might have thought that all you had to do, all we needed to do, was elect a governor who thought like you did, who had a couple of good ideas and some skills. It turns out that what I tried to get across to you, and so many of you didn't hear during the campaign, is that change is a slog. There's a sweat you've got to break. There's a focus and persistence you have to have. But it pays benefits. And one benefit I would just call to your attention is that we just finished, at the end of July, the most productive legislative session in 30 years.
Yeah.
We are doing exactly what we said we do, which is govern for the long term.
Right.
Not just tomorrow's headlines, but lives that can be changed the day Life Sciences Initiative is about. That's what the Clean Energy Bill and the Biofuels Bill and the Oceans Bill are all about. That's what billions of dollars of authorization to reinvest in our infrastructure is about. Rebuilding our bridges and our roads and our public colleges and universities and affordable and public housing and a whole host of other needs. We are just getting started. We are just getting started. But there will be times over and over again in the course of this year, in the course of this administration, where your patience and your faith will be tested. That is also the nature of change. See, we've got big questions in front of us. It's not just due respect John's re-election. That is vitally important. It's not just my re-election in a couple years' time. That is also important. And I hope to make it important to you, not just to me. It's not just question one, although, you know, we are right on the brink of an invitation to drive Massachusetts off a cliff. It's not even just the presidential election. There are big questions about who we are, not just who we want. Who we are. That's what's at stake. And it has been at stake, by the way, in every election for the last decade. Now it just turns out we're calling it that. There were moments in my campaign, just like moments in Barack Obama and Joe Biden's campaign right now, where lots of good people like you at the grassroots were wringing your hands and worrying whether this could be done. Whether there wasn't a strategy that was more successful, that was about hurling an insult back just as clever as the one you just received. That wasn't about trivializing the opposition, getting those negative response ads out there. And I remember good Democrats saying during our campaign, just as they say now about Barack's, when is the campaign going to start responding? And I say to you now what I said to you then. It isn't about the campaign, it's about you. Yeah. What are you going to do?